So this is the Segway E300SE. So as it stands at the moment, in terms of performance, in terms of technology, nothing really compares with this bike. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give you the kind of general specs of the bike, give you some nice close-ups, and just go through everything. So this is a 125cc equivalent, so that's an L3E. So top speed is quoted at 65 miles per hour, but to be honest, you can get it up to 70 quite easily. From a licensing point of view, what that means, the minimum requirement is just a provisional license and a CBT one-day training course. So just generally talking about the bike, let's talk about the size of it. So it's actually, for a bike that performs like this, it's actually quite a small bike. It's 1800 millimeters in length with a 780 millimeter seat height, and it's got 12-inch wheels, front and back as well. So it weighs I think around about 130 kilos. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the batteries and how that works, because this is quite interesting. So right, so to get to the batteries, you just open the seat, and then there's a little lever here just under the seat. Pull that up, and then just under your feet you'll find the two batteries. So it comes standard with two batteries there. So it comes standard, as I was saying, with two batteries. But the interesting thing with the Segway is you do have the option to add a third battery in. So let's just talk about it with two batteries. So with two batteries, range-wise, you're looking at realistically probably about 50 to 60 miles in range. And then with the third battery added in, you can increase that by 30%. Now how that works is the third battery will go underneath the seat. It's really easy to fit, and you can do that at the point of sale or further down the line. If you think you need a bit more range, you can add the third battery into the equation later on. So the batteries are 74 volt, 27 amp. Now charge time, so actually previously, the way so you can take the batteries out of the bike obviously and charge them, or you can leave them in the bike, and there's a connector just under the seat where you can plug it in and charge them in the bike as well. Previously, when you remove the batteries from the bike, you had to charge them separately, but you can now get a splitter which allows you to charge both batteries up at the same time, and it's about a 5 hour charge time. And then just quickly on, just because we're talking about, so one thing I meant to mention is the storage space. So with two batteries, 34 litres of storage space. That's enough for a full face helmet and more. If you put the third battery in, it reduces it to about 17 litres, so it pretty much halves it. Okay, cool, so that's the batteries. Right, so let's talk about the power of this bike and the motor, because this is where it gets really exciting. So it's got a hub motor, and it's a 10,000 watt peak power. So this thing absolutely flies off the mark. It is unbelievable, the acceleration. It does 0 to 30 in just 2.9 seconds. It's 200 Newton meter of torque. And because obviously the way this bike performs, it's also got ABS, and it's got traction control as well. Cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the display and the controls as well. So there's so much tech on this bike. So let's try and run through some of it. So if you come around and have a look at the display anyway, I'll show you this. So obviously that's your battery indicator, tells you how much battery you have. You can also set it so it gives you your range as well. And then you can see here, this is your modes of riding. So you have mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, and there's also an assist as well. So assist basically just allows you to move the bike, and then it won't go above, I think, about 5 kilometers an hour, but it just makes it easier to move the bike manually. And then you have 3 riding modes. So obviously it's like an eco mode, kind of dynamic, and then a sport mode. The Mode 2 and Mode 3, actually you'll get pretty much the same top speed, but in Mode 2 it's going to be a bit less power, and then in Mode 1 it's a lot less power and less speed. So, but if you're in the city, you really wouldn't need it above Mode 1, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's got cruise control, it's got a reverse function, and it's also got automatic hill start. So basically what that means is pretty cool. What it means is if you're on an incline, the bike it'll know that you're on an incline, it'll just hold the bike steady, so you can technically just take your hands off the brake and it's not gonna roll back. So it just makes it easier to get going on a hill. So yeah, there's loads to it. There's maybe even more stuff, but you can jump online and just make sure I've not missed anything. It is also keyless as well, so you can turn the bike on and off via the key. It's got a we'll talk about the app in a bit more detail, but within the app you can actually it's called Airlock, which basically is all Bluetooth connected, and then technically you don't even need the keys because you can just walk up to the bike and press the green ready button, and then the bike will start. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the app, because the app is one of the best apps I've seen. Okay, so here's the app. So you can pretty much control all the settings on the bike via the app. You can turn the bike on and off. You can open the seat, and that's your tracker, so you can see where your bike is at all times. It'll also ping you notifications as well if there's any unauthorized movement. Airlock, basically, once you set that, it's a Bluetooth thing. It knows when your bike your phone is close to the bike, and it allows you to just walk up to the bike and press the green ready button, and the bike will start. And the other thing is the security and anti-theft. So you can actually report the bike as being stolen as well, and they'll deactivate the bike basically. So that's a really good security feature. And yeah, I think that's everything. That's got all the settings. So you can turn the traction control off, and yeah, everything's there. You can even the alarm volume. So yeah, there's loads to the app. It's very, very cool. And yeah, okay, so that's the app. As it stands at the moment, the Segway E300SE is our best seller. It ticks so many boxes. The performance is unbelievable. The security and anti-theft technology is amazing. The app's amazing. The build quality is really, really good as well, and that's across all the Segway bikes. So top of the pile at the moment. If you're interested, we can do test rides. We're at 74 Dalry Road in Edinburgh. And if you need any more information, just jump over to flexelectric.co.uk. If you have any questions at all, just feel free to reach out.